Hello everybody, hope everyone's doing well. We'll see how today sounds. I have been gone for a week. I've been sick, but decided to give it a try today after feeling better for a couple days. Guess the big things are Valve won a big lawsuit and now is being sued by the state of New York over kind of a weird lawsuit that doesn't really seem like it holds a ton of water. Because to me, it's if they can go over Valve for that, then they, for some of the stuff they've listed, then they could go after like Pokemon for being gambling. So we'll see how that turns out. Sadly to say, you might hear more noise in the background, or I might sound quieter. That is an issue with having work done on the building I'm in. So hopefully that's not too bad. But I want to get back into game. I haven't even looked at the server. Like, this has all been just sitting since my last stream. We'll see what my mic actually picks up here. Because sometimes it sounds like they've been hammering right on top of my head. Hopefully that's not... I have my mic pretty tuned, so I hope it doesn't pick up too much. But we'll see. It has been a bit. Do you want to check stuff first? Yeah, that's still running at about 820. That's full, that's full. Quartzite's still been running. Marble's full. That's not bad. What else did I have kind of going nonstop? I don't think there was that much more up here set up just yet. Seems like a King Slime's being done in. I mean, nothing here should have been running. They should be pretty full though. Gunpowder, coke, or coal ore, or coal dust, blaze powder. Raw rubber's full like it should be. Sulfur dust. Some sulfur dust backed up. Diamond dust. Where is... Oh, it's up here. Steel dust. Steel dust is full. Yeah, got some lithium. Now the ones... Yep, there's that. You're also full. So glue, rubber, experience, yep. Because I'm guessing this is full. Tin, copper, redstone, yep. That's all full. Polyethylene, oxygen, fluorine, chlorine, glass. Yeah, there's a ton of glass, but from the quartzite being ran. Oh yeah, I got infernal drones when I last left off. This all looks to still be running without issue. This is probably full though. I tried to keep it from getting blocks. It's not supposed to get blocks. Can these be macerated? There's also a ton of diamonds. Oh, and a ton of glowstone. That's one thing I was trying to send upstairs, so it didn't back up. Because I kind of left off on this. Oh, I accidentally got an axe. Yeah, definitely we'll have to go through all that here at some point. Oh. It's completely dark out. Good, this hasn't been having the weird issues I've been seeing before. I don't know why at that one point it started shrinking. Let's see, I was working on those bees. These look like they're all still running good. So one reason why I got these infernals was I wanted to, or they're infernals, right? Yeah. The inclimatizer that I've been putting off, or that I finally have the stuff I can get. I could use it to train these guys to be lower climate and use them in the overworld. Yep, that's actually been going up. So the whole chunk loading system's still been running. Well, by chunk loading system, I mean this one chunk loader. Oh yeah, that was a bunch of books I grabbed from before. I don't even know if I need anything from here. The last time I left off, I almost had the logistics pipe system making all of its basic parts. Let's see, what do I got in my bags? Oh, did that cause that crash? Yep, no. Damn it. This is definitely, yep. That's that crash I was dealing with. Well, let's get back in and see. But that's going to take a second to relaunch. I'm actually going to switch off that so it's not blindingly white. Because remember, I've also had to remove the better loading screen because it was causing issues. Plus, this way there's music while we're waiting. So my plan is to... I would like to try to sprint towards the LV or HV I would like to sprint towards AE and the thermic energistic stuff. Because sadly, without thermic energistics, there is no good way to buffer a ton of Essentia. What was it? I think in interactions I've tried to play around with a Essentia sorting system that could create a buffer, but it just didn't, it wouldn't work. You can't. The way Essentia systems Essentia pipes pull is a little bit of an annoyance. Because they use kind of a pressure drag system that overlooks anything that's a lower pressure. So like to move it from a jar to a thaumatorium, the thaumatorium needs to have more pull. But to put it in a jar, the jar needs to have more pull. And so it's really hard to build a system without some sort of like logic cells that switch off. I mean, there is red, but that's so annoying. You'd have to build literally an Essentia storage cell for every single jar, or like 2 or 3 jars you wanted to use. Because I basically proved that in Thaumcraft 4 and 5 you can build automatic Essentia sorters. I don't know why my eye tracking is so weird today. Maybe that will track a bit better. So you can do an Essentia sorter. The problem is you can't buffer Essentia. And that's where the applied energistics comes in, because you can have an Essentia storage in your AE system that does buffer. And because I'm going to want to be using Essentia for a lot of just material production, I think I'm gonna go with the tantalum. What was it? Tantalum, silver, lead, nickel. I had a list going of what I was going to produce in the thaumatorium. Which was my plan. But it would be nice if I had A2 for that. I mean, I can just plumb stuff directly, but it's just not as good. Maybe I will play around with AE4 or Thaumcraft 4. Thaumcraft 4 is what's in the pack. Maybe I'll play around with Thaumcraft 4 and just double check that there isn't a way to do what I'm thinking of. Besides that, I think, yeah, then working towards AE. The only thing that sucks is I haven't seen a ton of meteors and I only have 1 press plate. So, not 100% sure how hard it's going to be for me to get started with AE. It's still currently restarting. Yeah, it's almost reloaded. I do like the XCOM music I found to put in my playlist. Okay, there we are, reloaded. Oh, yeah, I processed some weird stuff, various things in there last. I do like that I've got mending armor now, or the ability to make my armor mending. I do have to look. I think that's something I left off on, is trying to figure out if my um what do you call it? What was the best armor I could produce? Still don't know what the issue I'm getting here is. I don't know why I keep getting that client-side crash. Well, freeze and crash. And it specifically has something to do with looking in the A system and looking in the compartments. And of course, it's happened again. Even though it doesn't show it, it is completely white screen frozen for me. Testing to see if kicking myself from the server would cause the client to come back up. And the answer is no, it's just dead. Trying to read the crash log while it's restarting. Yeah, the log doesn't have anything. Because the program froze up. Looks like it's about done. Still trying to read through logs to see if I can figure out what is exactly happening. Ah, there we go, it's reloaded. I don't even know if I'm looking in the right log. Because of course crash reports aren't going to show me anything because I'm not crashing, the game's hiccuping. So the only thing I can look through is all the processing data, which there is a ton of it for especially for modded Minecraft. Because technically, almost every mod string is doing something. Okay. Seems like if I initialize this real fast, it doesn't happen. Yeah, now it's working fine. I still don't get what it is. Alright, let's see. I left off a little low on Mark 1s. Decent on modules. Which modules did I have taught? Extractor, provider, crafting. Okay, so I need to teach a few more modules. I think, which one didn't I have? Probably suppliers are the next big ones I need. Yeah, because I don't have passive and active supplier. Let's see, what do I need for this? Steel plate, vacuum tube, steel bolt, orange lumar. Yeah, looks like I need to teach it orange lumar. Need to figure out where I put that mixer. Completely forgot about over here. Get out a crafting card and get it programmed. There we go. Orange lumar. Let's see. Steel bolts, modules, steel plate, lumar. Steel bolts. Well, steel plate. Steel bolts. Orange lumar. Modules. Yeah, I think it can make everything. So now I gotta find... I believe it's a tin. Yeah, something with 10 in it. Or an assembler with 10 in it. Yeah, I should probably just go with a new one. So I need a whole new assembler. Let's see, do I have one? No. I've used up all my assemblers, it looks like. There we go. There's one being produced. Yeah, these are full of hydrogen. Do I have anything I can run? Only if I want more steel, which I don't need. What am I short on for stainless? Oh, currently some nickel dust. Grab some more iron while I'm down here. Yeah, I don't have a ton of nickel, but it's enough. Because I am going to definitely need more stainless. I don't think I have much more chrome. Oh, here's a little bit. I think that's the chrome I was thinking about. Forget, does this work? Nope. Used to be if you did both actions on an elevator, it wouldn't transport you. If you were like holding crouch and jump. Let's see, how was I running this? Was there an oxygen mode? Yeah, 11. Like normal. Might as well run some while I'm working on other stuff. Hey Jordo Bam, welcome in. I hope you're having a good day. Things are going fine. It's just been getting back to it after being a little bit sick and having to deal with stuff. Here's my assembler. If I have the other pipes to get this set up. I don't need eggs. Yeah, might as well just add it right here. Fluid supplier. Chassis Mark II. I need some tin. Well, how have you used a GregTech pack in the past? I'm going to go for 10 ingots. Partial. I gotta hook this up. Alright, well, this is one of the harder GregTech packs, so be careful with that. You can blow up your machines if you aren't careful. Right now I'm just using LV power, so it's pretty safe for... But once you get into like MV, HV, you do have to worry about destroying your machines. Also, they blow up in the rain, so remember to cover your machines. Well, all I can say is you're going to have a hard learning curve. I've started this pack knowing GregTech, but I'm starting to get to the point that I'm going to have issues. Okay, I got to program this. 4 modules, 2 steel plate, a vacuum tube, 8 bolts. Yeah, I mean the pack does so. Follow your quests. I always forget where the quest book is in this one. There it is. It should be tilde. As long as you read all your quests, you should be pretty safe. This pack does a decent job trying to teach stuff. It's just there's a few random things that you have to be careful about. The big one that I know of is... where is it? How to store and generate power? No. Where are you? Storing and transforming. This block, the hydro dam, can destroy your save. Yeah, no, this pack has a whole dedicated wiki. There's tons of people that play it. It is very difficult, in my opinion, even compared to the other GregTech stuff I've done. Very tedious. Which is a good and a bad thing. I do like that it is so strict. Are you going down or going up? You're going down. Hmm. Oh, I put the whole name instead of the truncated. No, it can cause it has a coding issue that can cause chunk corruption, which I either can destroy a chunk or destroy your whole save, is what I've been told. Yeah, and it's just the dam itself. What's funny is I was testing with some with so what it's supposed to do is the dam is supposed to basically make a pond. It's supposed to work like a realistic dam. You put it at the bottom of like say a valley that's cut off by a wall, and then it backfills behind it. The problem is that there's something with the coding that as it backfills, it can cause some sort of chunk issue. Yep, I'm on the latest version because of a silly thing they took care of. There, that's processing stainless steel. I just don't want. I need to set this up. This needs to be on a better power line. Actually, I need to move this downstairs. Maybe that's what I'll do. I'll let it finish that, and then I'll move it. Yeah. Are you going to run it client only, or are you actually running your personal server? Because I'm running this on a server because it's rather intensive. Not pushing that you need a server, but okay. Get back to what I was doing. Teaching the system how to make other modules. Personally, I would say a server is good, but I know that some people run it off. If you have a beefy computer, it could probably totally run completely fine. For my purposes, I did need to run a server, or I did pay for a server. But that's because I want a smoother experience for capturing. Yeah, try it out. I know the big things is later in the game. The only thing you have to worry about early game is the GregTech item pipes. You want to limit how many outputs they have. The more, because every time they try to send an item, they check every output, whether that the output can receive that item or not. And if you have insane a number of outputs, it makes a lot of requests. Nice. Blink module, steel bolt. I'm making passive supplier modules. 2 steel plate, a vacuum tube. Steel plate. Where am I back? There's finished vacuum tubes. What was it? 2 Lumar. Orange Lumar. Is that everything? My magnet keeps picking up the eggs and the chickens. Yeah, but I'm only trying to get through this part, and then I'm going to try to switch to AE. So I'm hoping that I don't cause too much lag with just a minor logistics pipe system. Yeah, I think that's everything. Because my plan was to use this base to build a new base. So I'm just trying to get this one up and running. I mean, I'm currently running just a strictly LV base right now. We're on break. All right, I'll take a break here, and then I'll be back. Okay. So I'll give a quick rundown. Right now, this system is, what is it, 48 amps of technically 48 amps of LV capacity. And then I'm running it through a 16 amp battery buffer to my lines, is basically how this is working currently. Nothing special. And then I'm just converting it up at location to, right now, MV. All because I'm seeing how far I can push a LV factory with lossless cable. Because this is all 16X redstone alloy lossless. Passive. So if I've done all that correctly, that should be good. Now I need to do active. And this is, like I said, like this is, I'm kind of saying this is my first time through this pack. I'm expecting to probably play this pack at least once more. Trying to do more of like, because I don't know if I'm going to do a full like hard garden of grind in the future, but I definitely am willing to come back to this pack for maybe a skyblock. Oh yeah, I was talking about moving this downstairs. Yeah, I know. I I might have to push uh logistics pipes a bit harder than I probably should. We'll see. I do, so I'm up to HV in material processing because I am turning out stainless steel. I just don't have production processing up to HV yet really set up. Someone did come on, I think, my last stream and say that there was kind of a way to start a little bit early. Oh, yeah, I forgot. That's going to be a pain to move. I did reroute this. Why are you not... Hold on. How's this... Yeah, now it's ticking just fine. Why was this having issues before? It should be getting priority. It should be getting priority on the 16 amp line, plus I have another 4 dumping into it from hydrogen. Oh yeah, no, the early game, if you like the early game struggles of modded packs, this has a great early game struggle. I was thoroughly enthused by it. It's only recently that I felt like I've hit a little bit of a wall trying to get early automation running. But otherwise, I think the pack's great. Alright, active supplier modules. Oh yeah, this is where I gotta mix in the golden chipsets, which needs an MV forming press. So, for those who are new, my current plan is to use/abandon this base for a base in the Twilight Forest. Because there are resources that I want in the Twilight Forest. And I'd rather have the factory set up there if I'm going to dig a ton up. Because, yeah, until later, you don't get access to the interdimensional sort of stuff. And one reason why I wanted to get logistics pipes going is because I have figured out a way to do a long distance item system with logistics pipes. Let's see, this needs. All right, I do. I also need to put a laser. Didn't I put a laser engraver in line here? Yeah. But I only have you doing silicon. Yeah, I need to put a Mark II. And have you also do redstone plate. For this to work. Yeah, it's 1-to-1. Gold plate plus redstone circuit. Makes a gold chipset. Like, I started the series with me trying to push some of the boundaries of the lesser used mods to see if I could find something interesting. I started out with trying to get peat running from forestry. It was okay, but it definitely needed time wood. And even with time wood, I was still running into the issue of needing stuff for fertilizer. For forestry fertilizer, which is different from industrial craft fertilizer. And the easiest way I saw that is either you have to constantly mine apatite, or you have to have some sort of saltpeter. And the best saltpeter I found was, in my idea framing, was gunpowder. And gunpowder can only be, what was it? Electrolyzed? Yeah, electrolyzed in MV or HV. MV? Was it saltpeter? Packager or washer. Chembath? Salty root. Was I getting saltpeter from gunpowder? Because I was trying to make this type of fertilizer. Saltpeter dust. I guess I could have run a sandstone loop, maybe. thought there was an electrolyzer recipe or something. Oh, no, here it is. Gunpowder MV. No, I could make that work. Okay. And then I could run a boiler system off of peat farms. Because I was using a 3-sided from MV. Because, yeah, you can't get a 4-sided farm going until HV. But I had mostly everything else working. And it was, with the enough time wood, it was producing more peat than it needed to run itself. The only problem I was having was the fertilizer. So it's an interesting idea, but you do need the time wood for it. Let's see, I need to do cyan. Need to teach it cyan. Lumar. I don't know, I've just been playing around with a lot of interesting ideas. Like, I did a whole thing on testing magic wax capsules for passing steam long distances before I could get the fluid pipes. Now my mixer's all the way over here. There it is. I'll just stick another 2 on it. I don't need to waste a 3. There we go. Cyan Lumar. The system knows how to make that. I needed that gold chipset still. Oh, did I already put I already put a second one in here. All right, so to upgrade to active, 4 passive, a gold chipset, and 2 cyan. And I was just going to run it through the same assembler. 2 cyan, a gold chipset. Four. Thank you for the follow, Pablo. I just saw that. No, not that.
Yeah, I got too excited and almost forgot to set this. There we go. Now it knows how to make those. Okay, so I should have everything now besides item sinks. Which is okay for right now because I've been using a kind of dirty active supplier system. Do I have a... No. I forgot this pack is really annoying to get. The void upgrades for the drawers. No, I don't. Scroll wheel works really bad in some of this. It's one of the things that annoys me so far in this pack. Okay, that should deal with the glowstone. I've still got too many blocks of gold and stuff coming through because I'm not using it fast enough. Okay, so I have most of the stuff. Yeah, I should probably do that. Actually, now that I think about it. Yeah, I seem to be dealing with lots of bots today on Twitch. Yeah, I might as well do this. I need another drawer. There we go. Now we'll get all the diamonds out of the way. Yeah, the scroll wheel thing is the thing that makes me most irks me in this pack. Yeah, I still got all this extra steel from when I was not working with the system as hard as I was, or not trying to keep the system as clean as I was. Because it is expensive to set this up. System still has a lot of glass. Yep.
Alright, so now that I've got most of the... Okay, you pulled all the excess from down here. Yep, there we go. Now all those diamonds... Just gotta deal with these diamond blocks. Could just keep breaking these down, I guess. Either that, or make barrels for them. Okay, how are you doing? Oh, see, now you're happy. What was the problem before? You were definitely looking like you were going to fault out. There we go. Here's two that I don't have to make. Forget if I've taught... Have I taught the system how to make drawers? No. Doesn't look like I have yet. They're not... In this version of storage drawers is not my favorite, and it has a few issues, but it's better than nothing. Pull all those extra blocks up here. I'll have to do the same for that. That needs more iron dust. Still surprised. I did all that work to set up a magnesium mine and I haven't even started using it yet. Yeah, I piped to... So there's a tunnel, a long distance item that goes all the way out here that I haven't started using yet because this is a magnesium mine. Good. I still got all this stuff. Yeah, because my magnesium is all the way over there. I've used up that copper mine. And there's something else that I must have used up one of these iron mines. I don't remember which one off the top of my head. I have quartzite. My chunk loader. Which, yeah, I'm only using a personal anchor. I haven't been able to make a world anchor yet. How's this battery doing? And now it's starting to drop again. Four hydrogen gas turbines. And then it's got another 16 steam turbines, but those feed the rest of this floor. I know I'm only running this at like 82% heat, but it's been providing me a decent amount of steam. And the only other thing that's really running here is these 3 electrolyzers. Yeah, it seems like they're getting power first still. Which I still find weird because this battery buffer is the first one on the line. Since I believe I reversed this. I was pretty sure I was running a lot. Didn't I run power somewhere up here? There it is. Oh, is that... maybe because I'm not running it in there. If it wasn't for the maintenance hatch, I'd move the EBF. But I don't have access to any more duct tape. And I don't want to deal with maintenance issues just yet until that one runs out. I have so much compressed blocks of gold and iron just sitting there too. I'm pretty set on gold, iron. Actually, I'm set on a lot of stuff for right now. Iron, steel, gold, basically copper, tin, redstone, because I'm using the XP crafting recipes for those. Alright. Enough messing about with this. Get some more of those started. How am I doing on modules? Okay. Okay, now that I've got all the basically all the modules I really want programmed, I'll do an item sync one. I'll program an item sync one when I need it. Right. Somebody was telling me, but so on my previous stream, or one of my previous streams 2 weeks ago, I was sick for a week. Somebody was telling me about calcite to titanium using this method. Yeah, using the nitric acid method to get a tiny bit of rutile, and then using the tiny bit of rutile to get titanium. Or tetrachlor. Was it tetrachloric acid? Yeah, because I can technically run this. You can technically run this in HVEBF and get titanium that way. That's what they were telling me. Yeah, I still don't get why this gets priority. Actually, I should probably just move the... I don't know. I still don't know what I'm doing for oxygen. I was wanting to use this that put off a decent amount of oxygen, this potassium feldspar. Yeah, it puts off a little bit. and I could get a little alumina out of it. This is basically a little bit of stone dust processing I've had running in the background. Yeah, that's set right. And I do need to teach the system how to make carbon dust out of diamond dust. But doing it manually every once in a while isn't bad. I only have 4 HV circuits left. And I still do want to make an acclimatizer. Because, let's see, I'm still a little bit early on this, if I remember correctly. Oh, that's the incubator. I need... yeah, the gene pool. Or no, not the gene pool, the... gene bank? Gene... Because, no, that's liquid DNA. I'm thinking about the... those are the things I can make. Genetics. I needed to make the basic gene database. I can't make that until I can make an EV circuit. Because I can't use genetics until I get an EV circuit. But I can start making the resources for genetics. Which one was this one? This is what this is what I'm currently producing. I'd have to start producing this series, which is the plastic circuit boards. Which I was working towards sodium persulfate, but the only thing I have is gas tiers as my main salt. I was using salt water. Which right now the system is sodium bisulfate. No, that was the assembly machine. So I was using Ender.io crafters for a little bit because I didn't, for some reason, I was having trouble when I tested them earlier in the pack. I had issues with these auto workbenches. So I didn't think the auto workbenches worked. And I wasn't going to use the Project Red crafting tables because those cost so much lag. I think the guys over in the Singularity really figured that out. Okay, yeah, sodium hydroxide. So the thing that's currently keeping me from a ton of sodium persulfate is sulfuric acid. But I was using the... what was it? Sodium... I was taking my byproducts from plastic production. That's right, I'm out of oil. Because I finished up all the oil from the spout in the sea. And I am still using default everything, so I have done none of the suggested configuration changes. I am playing this as bare bones as it is, because some people download the better journey map and they change the configurations. Like I can't claim chunks, so explosions still cause damage, and that's why I'm having to use the chunk loaders, because I'm not using claim chunk loading. And of course, forgive any background sounds you hear. They are banging on my roof currently to replace it. So I do try to, if I'm not going to say anything, I do try to hold sound, but every once in a while something does get through, probably. Uh, Still hate that containers have issues with NEI. What was it? I was looking. Besides the gene database, right, I need the MV circuit assembler also. I can still use low-grade components, but it would be better if I could get some sort of surface mount stuff going, which needs the tantalum foil. And I was hoping that most of my tantalum would come from nugget transfusion. Yeah, I don't want that to fault out again. You're running potassium feldspar. There are so many Thaumcraft 4 add-ons. I don't even remember them all. I've worked with some of them, but not a ton. Okay, I did want to... I'm torn between still working on progress, or going and testing something. Okay, I'd like the acclimatizer for bees because that would make things easier. And that doesn't take a ton. How many MV circuits did I have left? So that would, or sorry, HV. So that'd take up the last 4 of my HV circuits. Because each of the genetic machines needs 2 of their circuits, which are made from 2 HV circuits. So each machine needs 4 HV circuits. I don't even want to deal with that just yet. Yeah, this is the issue, is you need a gene database to program serum samples, and serum samples are the only way you can change bees in genetics. So that's why that EV circuit is so gating. I can make all the slime I want. I can even research genetics. I just can't put them back into bees without that gene database. Yeah, I already checked. Yeah, I can't get that through any of the loot boxes, I'm pretty sure. Um, Sorry, trying to deal with everything while there's banging on my roof. uh, and mental fatigue is something I definitely deal with. Or I definitely succumb to mental fatigue rather fast. So I do try to be careful. Oh, yes, that's only got 17 left. Yeah, that should be good. That's only at 50%. So if you notice, I went with the Iron Golem backpack, which is not one that's listed in the quest, because I like no fall damage. I took it over the what was it, I think it's the Pigman backpack that people normally get that has fire resistance. I have debated making a second backpack for the fire resistance. Sorry, I was giving them a minute because they were making a lot of noise. In your client, Yep, they're definitely working right above me right now. Yeah, I don't know why you would have. You might have to look into that while you're having lag spikes. I can't say anything comes to mind right off the top of my head, but this is a pretty intense, resource intensive pack. Let's see, should probably start running these bees again. I can still do manual bees, but it's like always so much more annoying. Unusual, unusual, common, unusual. So I'm running closer to common currently. Oh, and my princess is... Oh, I still got these common drones. We'll mix those two together. I'm still trying to get a pure cultivated line, because that's what I need to do the manual genetics. And cultivated is the hardest line to stabilize. Because it likes to try to mutate into other stuff, since it's a linchpin you need for every other strain, just about. Alright, I need to formulate a new plan on things. These are repeatable kill quests you can do for coins, and coins you can use to buy certain things on a cooldown, but they come in handy more for the early game. Like when you're first setting up for LV. Now I'm kind of just drowning in them. And don't have a great, easy way to use them. I will suggest like a lot of the big YouTubers that play GTNH, starting on top of a brick house rogue dungeon is probably your best start. I think we're actually going to take a break here and then we'll be back after the ad break on Twitch. And I was completely muted. Uh, yeah, as you can see, that steam tank's going down. The system can't handle hard draw for a huge amount of time, but it also regenerates pretty fast, so it hasn't been an issue. I do have pollution on, but I haven't caused enough. I'm still playing on a little bit of difficulty, even if I'm not as difficult, or not as... I'm not as lean as people suggest new players to GTNH run, but I'm also not as heavy as some of the really interesting challenges. Oh, I have some more redstone alloy that I can make into big chunky wire. I do have a bit of warp from doing Thaumcraft. Yeah, this is the big thing. You need lots of titanium for AE2. I'm trying to remember where the quartzite vein quest is. Yeah, I also got to work towards a clean room, because that's the other thing. To do the EV circuit, I need a clean room set up. I have an idea for that. But first I need to make a clean room controller. Which does require an HV circuit. Be able to make more HV of this tier HV circuit without too much issue. Annealed copper. Right, it's the transistors. Now I have 6 stacks of raw. I don't currently have any process silicon. I do have a lot of silicon dioxide I can process. I do need to set up the system to auto run. There we go. I'm using the recipe to turn silicon dioxide and magnesium into low grade or raw silicon and magnesia, which then you can just run magnesia back through the electrolyzer to get out the oxygen. Oh, looks like the potassium feldspar actually got done already. I think there's a little bit left I can run. So this just pulling out any liquids into the logistics pipe system that I already have set up. Might as well do all the soda light while I'm at it. There isn't that much. That's actually something I should think about. What is the actual process line I need for this? Yeah, you were having an issue with your version of Java. Hey, Minda, welcome in. Hope you're having a good day. I'm currently using logistics pipes, which some people like, some people hate. But they are the earliest automation you can really get your hands on. They use, in this version, they focus on, the mod pack has kind of focused it on, so you do want to be careful because the mod pack version of the mod plays a little bit different than normal logistics pipes. Usually in normal logistics pipes, it's harder to make modules than it is to make the standalone pipes. Yeah, I mean, I already have access to item conduit. Like, the problem is, yeah, I can't easily make fluid pipe though. That's kind of the downside. But yeah, the big thing about logistics pipe is they use a chassis. In this version, they especially go chassis module. And in the normal version, you'd actually be making like crafting pipes. But in this version, you make the module before the crafting pipe, so you might as well just use the module, in my book. Let's see. I went from hoppers and GregTech pipe, single output GregTech pipe, to, what was it? So for inserting, I used, so actually, if I go outside, yeah, here it is. For inserting into like a bunch of coke ovens, sorry, I've got work being done on my house. I was using transfer nodes for inserting because they don't have as much of an issue, as, if I remember correctly, with multiple outputs. The Greg's Tech pipes, if you run a ton of them, can have issues with multiple outputs. You can do multiple inputs, but just don't do multiple outputs with them as much as you can help it. And I was using that up until I got access to conduit and logistics pipes. But some people try to skip over conduit and logistics pipes and go straight for AE. But you have to be able to produce a ton of nitric acid and calcite ore. Or, yeah, calcite ore. Because you need Enderlite. If I would have known about the work schedule on my house, or on my building, I should say, it isn't technically mine, and it doesn't technically just cover my house. House in quotation marks. I would have skipped this week instead of last week, but I was sick last week and I'm not sick this week. So, sorry if you hear background banging. It's the best. I rarely do. Okay, so I was looking at seeing if I could set up a passive, because over here to work on this, yeah, they're being really loud right now. Because I was using cobblestone to make sand to make sand. Sorry, I was using cobblestone to make sand over here, and I want to use this same setup, but to make, instead of, yeah, never mind. So I would need a cobble gen. Basically, I want to set up a stone dust factory. Is one of my side projects that I've been thinking about. So let's see, cobble gen, macerator, centrifuge, and then I need an MV electrolyzer. Because I've been using the potassium feldspar to get the silicon dioxide, to get silicon. And I've been using the quartzite for glass. So I'm using my magnesium and silicon dioxide to make raw silicon and magnesia. And then I'm running the magnesia back through the electrolyzer to get the oxygen out of it and turn it back into magnesium, which is a zero loss process. So you never run out of magnesium while you're processing silicon dioxide. That gets you raw silicon, and then I've got my silicon reprocessor over here with hydrochloric acid to turn it into solar grade. And I want to set up an auto system for that. Also, thank you, Minda, for the follow. Also, if any of you currently watching or watching in the future do want to see it, I do have a YouTube VOD that has every stream from the start, in case you want to see how I got somewhere. And you can find that there should be links to the YouTube VOD somewhere on Twitch. I have it set up somewhere. Alright, so it looks like I can use an LV Rock Breaker as a cobble gen. Oh, those are the those aren't the industrial ones. You can only wall share with the industrial coke ovens. These are the Railcraft ones that can't wall share. Because, yeah, you need the industrial coke oven, I believe, before you can wall share. No, specifically the GregTech ones. Because Railcraft does not have wall sharing. So it's just better to get to the Pyrolos oven. No, the first one you use for steel is the brick blast furnace, which I made 2 or 3 of those, but that took a lot of resources, which then I recycled a bunch of that when I was finally able to make my first EBF. So no, these coke ovens were really just from what. So I had a brick. So I started on a brick dungeon. So that did give me a bunch of brick to start with. Wasn't there something else I did? See, it's already been so long that I forgot how I did how I ended up with so many coke ovens. And I mean, you can kind of automate them, but you can't, or you can kind of automate them early, but you do need the ability to build a lot of these fluid translocators as your, or LV pumps. I went with fluid translocators because I have had access to ender pearls. Because I basically do have the ability to make infinite ender pearls. I just don't currently, because my slime farm gives me enough through infernal slimes. Because this is how I'm gathering a lot of my resources right now. Is I've got slime farms. Because I don't have access. I don't have access to Sigil or Cursed Earth currently because I have not fought the Wither yet. Or got lucky enough to find one. Alright, let's see how these... I don't think I've got another cultivated line yet. Oh, there is cultivated. Is it on the princess? Yeah, let me try. Hey, welcome in. So common cultivated... No, wait, hold on. Make sure I got this right. Common cultivated princess, common cultivated drone, with the hopes that I can get more cultivated out of it. And I'm only risking this because the princess had the cultivated on it. So this is manual bee breeding. This is what drives people insane when they play this pack. Because you can generate infinite resources with bees, but it is really hard until you get to Ivy to work with bees. Like EV is when you can start working with bees. I believe Ivy is when bees get good. Yeah, because you need this, or you need gendistry. You can get genetics in EV when you make your first EV circuit, but gendistry is like I believe IV or later. So yeah, right now I'm stuck with manual bee breeding if I'm trying to work towards bees. Yeah, I think. Yeah, I do really want a silicon factory. Yeah, I do want to make a couple of these. Yeah, I have like nothing in here, right? Yeah. It's showing no items currently got. Let's see. Start with 4, I guess. Okay, and then I gotta manually make some steel double plate. At 4. 8. 32. Okay, still got a metal bender up here, right? Yeah. Currently getting power. See, what was I doing with alumina? Oh no, that's the aluminum dust. There's alumina. It's working towards trying to be able to use it. Right, I was thinking about running this recipe. But I need a output. That's what I'm missing. My EBF needs a fluid output. Or I could use an HV electrolyzer. Yeah, it's probably just going to go the electrolyzer route. See, I need 4 diamonds and 16 diamond dust, which I definitely have. I forget. I had this because this pipe had a provider in it. If I ordered something that I had an active supplier for, it would get pulled out. So I probably everything that I just ordered in regards to diamonds just got returned. There we go. There. Now I should be able to craft it. It's weird. Oh, I only had it set to 1. I should have set. I needed to have it set to 4 for it to auto craft all 4. There we go. Block breakers. Where's this one? LV. Yeah, there it is. Block breaker. I guess I'll take the obsidian. I'm just gonna make everything else. It lagged for a second. Alright, there's 4 block breakers. That's not good. So yeah, it's keeping my loot bags up here, right? Yeah. Because I was combining them. I want to put obsidian into my storage system.
Put that in there for now. Alright, so block breakers to try to make cobblestone. Probably run another line over here. How much? I don't have much redstone alloy. So you probably want to run it here. Might as well make a bunch more wire. There we are. A lot more redstone alloy. Let's see. I'm hoping this redstone alloy will finish up a lot faster.
6 per minute. Sadly, I think I only got 3 hours in, but I think I need a bit of I either need to stop or take a break. So, glad to say, I think I'm gonna cut this session here, but I could be back later. We'll see. Maybe when things quiet down a bit. But thank you all for watching, and I will see you next time.